All right, everybody. We are very excited on the Mark Hoke Show to have one of Vegas's favorite professional wrestlers. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Coming in to say hi as he's getting ready for TNA Emergence coming up. And he is going to be in that X Division match, trying to take that belt off Speedball Mike Bailey. And of course, he's going to have four other guys to compete with, too. This is going to be a wild week for Alex Hammerstone over at TNA Emergence coming out of Louisville, Kentucky on September 30th. But I'm just thrilled to have this guy on the show. I've been watching him so much here in Las Vegas, and we get to have him join us on the Marco Show. Hammerstone is in the house. What's going on, big man?
Not too much. How you doing?
I am doing very well. Thrilled to have you on. And well, Alex, first, how are things going in TNA, my friend? I mean, I know everybody was really excited to see when you signed, and it's been about 6 months now. What's going on with TNA?
I mean, so far so good. I truly I've been having a blast. You know, it definitely I was at the point where I needed, a change. I needed something new, and TNA has provided that. Um, you know, it's really reinvigorating to feel like I have some new mountains to climb and some new goals to chase and a whole new locker room of matchups that have never happened before. It's just a really exciting time. I really show up every month, like really looking forward to finding out like what I'm going to be doing, what matches I'm going to be in, and yeah, so far like I can't believe 6 months has already gone by because it feels like it's just flying. It's really just flying by because I'm really enjoying it up to this point.
Well, you got dropped right in with Josh Alexander to start things off too. And I remember when that match was added at Hard to Kill, and I said, "Wow, this is what an opportunity for Hammerstone to really put on a show." And I thought you guys had the best match of that night. What was it like to get thrown right into the fire and say, "Here you go, big man. Here's your chance"?
I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. If I couldn't hang with the best, then I probably didn't deserve to be on the roster. So I'm glad that that's the situation they put me in because it was a situation where it was like, this is one of our best guys. You're going in there for 20 plus minutes, and like you said, you enjoyed the match very much. A lot of people said it was their favorite match of the night. It's like when you get that kind of reception from something, that's at Hard to Kill. I hadn't signed a contract. I wasn't guaranteed anything, but I think that performance obviously is what kind of pushed me over the edge in the eyes of the company. So I'm really thankful that I was given that opportunity. And at the same time, I think that speaks to the fact that a lot of companies, when you come in, it's kind of like, whatever you've done elsewhere doesn't really matter and you have to completely start from the ground up. And not that I have any kind of ego where I'm not willing to, put the work in because I'm willing to do that. It's really nice to feel that TNA recognize that I've been doing this for over 10 years and they recognize that I've been all over the world and they recognize I've held world championships. So as much as they're not saying, you get a fast track to the top, they are saying like, hey, we'll throw you on the deep end and see if you can swim.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting that looking back over your career. There were so many points where, you had tryout matches and, people would give you the great comparisons, but then, it never worked out. And, you obviously did amazing work on the Indies and MLW, but this had to be really sweet for you to get that contract signed with TNA after all you went through. Tell us a little bit about that road.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long road. I think a lot of what happened for me happened out of the fact that I kind of, developed in wrestling backwards to the way a lot of people develop. A lot of people spend a lot of time just in the ring learning how to wrestle, and that's, they're very proficient in the ring, but they never really figure out how to have that charisma and that character and that larger than life, entrance and music and all these things, and that the visuals, and developing themselves physically. That all comes a lot later. How many times have you seen these guys who are like the indie standouts, but they never really get a shot because they don't really look like much physically, and they don't really know how to cut a promo. They're not very charismatic, et cetera, et cetera. I was kind of backwards. So I, came into wrestling. Before I even started training, I thought like you got to be big and muscular. So I'd been working out for years before I even signed up for wrestling school. So I came in with a good build. I came in really like with the mindset of like, I'd been a musician. I'd been a performer for several years. So I came in with this performer mindset where I wanted the spotlight, and I wasn't nervous in front of people, and I wanted to figure out how to captivate an audience. So I think I got a lot of those things off the bat, which got me a lot of attention, which got me in a lot of doors. So big companies, they see those things like, we want this. They give you a tryout, they give you an opportunity. But I hadn't honed my actual wrestling skills yet. So it took me the time. I got a lot of opportunities very early. Within my first year of training, I had a tryout for the WWE. It was only a couple years in that I had tryouts with basically almost every major company. But I was raw. I was still, learning a lot of, sharpening my skills, so to say. So there's no part of me that's like, oh, these companies passed me up. They slept on me. It's like wrestling isn't like that. Like you come with what you got. And if what you have is what they want at the time, it's going to work. Otherwise, get back to work and don't rest on your laurels. Keep developing. I kept developing. I kept, I went through several kind of character and persona changes over the years. I was always trying to get better in the ring, always trying to stay on top of things. And, the guys who are successful are usually the ones that have been told no over and over and over, but don't let that break their spirit, because there's so many guys who, after they get told no 4 or 5 times, they might not quit wrestling, but they quit trying as hard. They start slacking on their training. They start slacking on their workouts, or they start slacking on their getting new gear or how to cut promos. It's those types of things. And I never let it kill me. Like even coming into Hard to Kill, like I was working harder than I ever had, because every opportunity was the most important opportunity.
Well, Vegas fans here very familiar with you because, of course, you were a three-time FSW champion here, and obviously have that huge moment here in Las Vegas on at Hard to Kill. What does Las Vegas mean to you?
Um, most people who I meet in this industry think I'm based out of Las Vegas, just because, FSW is really like kind of one of the companies where I built my name. And I always kind of think of it as a wrestling home. So it's like, to get to do, if Hard to Kill would have happened anywhere, obviously, like that match, I'm very proud of that match. That match would have been great in front of any crowd. But the fact that it happened in front of a Vegas crowd, I probably couldn't have asked for anything better. It's like, because for whatever I had done and for whatever character I might have portrayed or was portrayed at the time, it's like you said, the fans there, a lot of them knew, like, hey, this guy's been grinding for a decade. He has been one of our guys we want to see succeed. So I think, a lot of the people in the building knew that night how important that moment was to me, and they made it that much more special.
Yeah, we were very happy to see it go well for you. So, I'm looking forward to seeing more from you here in TNA. But now you guys have this relationship with WWE, and I'm curious to get your thoughts about what's happening with that. Do you feel like it's benefiting TNA as well as WWE? What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's, there's not a question of if it's benefiting us. Every show we've had this year has been a sellout. We're drawing record numbers at our shows. And it really looks like the trajectory of the company is just continuing to go up. Not only that, a lot of people are saying, oh, you're like, oh, a couple TNA guys on WWE, that's cool. But what they're not realizing too is like how much having the NXT guys on our shows benefits us, to get some new guys into the mix with us. And wrestling benefits from having different styles, different personalities, shaking things up like that. It's fresh faces and fresh talent. So it's been very beneficial. I can't say, what it's going to lead to and what's going to be next from it. But it's definitely very exciting times.
Tell me you want to get on NXT. How much would that mean to you to get a chance there?
Hey, I mean, literally, like, I went into this year just saying, like, whatever comes my way, I'm going to try to knock it out of the park. I'm not expecting the world to be handed to me. I don't care what I'm asked to do, whatever it is, I'm just going to go in there with my work boots on and do my best job. So if that means I'm one of the guys who gets an opportunity at NXT, then I'm going to treat it like it's the most important opportunity in the world.
And we're on the Mark Hoke Show here with TNA's Hammerstone. God, it's just fun to say that too. TNA's Hammerstone. It's awesome. Yeah, you get to, I'd like to see the smile on your face for that. Now, I've been following you for a long time, and your X account is I find it very inspirational and just fascinating because you really do put out the personal side of you out there. First on the bodybuilding stuff. Dude, you got the best legs in pro wrestling. I mean, seriously. I mean, I used to, when I was an athlete, and I would love doing the big leg presses and stuff. But my God, what is your routine when you when
uh,
you're in the weight room? Because that's crazy.
it's something like squat until you cry, most days. No, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think it's anything that crazy or absurd that I do. I think it's just an intense level of consistency and discipline. It's like I don't miss training sessions. I don't miss meals. I track every workout. I track every meal. I'm kind of like neurotic about this stuff because I have, like we talked about earlier, I've had so many times in my life where I was told no. I was told I wasn't good enough. So I just kept being like, how could I be better? How could I be better? And finding these little things. And it's like, and then once you set a new habit that brings you some success, you are terrified that if you stop doing that, the success goes away. So, I'm in the gym most every day, usually twice a day. I hurried up and was up early this morning so I could get a workout in before we did this interview, and I have another one later this night. It's just part of my crazy obsessive brain.
What's the craziest thing you've done in a weight room? Because anybody that's been an athlete has always gone in and said, you know what, there's I'm gonna try this today. And it's just ridiculous, but you might pull it off. What's the craziest thing you've ever done in a weight room?
I mean, I have good lifting numbers from here and there. I've done impressive sets of workouts where I'm deadlifting 405 for 20 reps or 315 for 30 reps. But honestly, like the mentally the hardest thing I've done, because as hard as lifting weights is, it's like a hard set lasts a minute or 2 minutes, like if it's a very long set. But I've done a stairmaster session where I climbed 500 flights of stairs in an hour, and
What?
that's the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, it's because I don't know, like I don't know anybody that has, like, I've met guys that could probably hit those deadlift numbers, but I don't know anybody who would do that on a flight of stairs, because it's just you're basically sprinting upstairs for an hour straight. It's so painful, and it's mentally so much harder because the pain doesn't stop. It is an hour straight of
That's
torture.
God, that's insane, but very cool.
Yeah.
Now everybody's going to be going out there and trying that once they hear that interview. That you
Oh,
also
good
there's a
luck.
new challenge. You also play guitar, and you actually wrote your own entrance music. The guitar playing, I imagine that's kind of a nice breakaway from all this for you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's funny you bring that up. I haven't been playing as much the last couple of weeks. I keep beating myself up over it. But yeah, I would say it's really good and really important for people in this industry to have something outside of it that's completely unrelated, because it's like for several years I didn't, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people say I eat, sleep, and breathe wrestling, and that's good. Like, it's good to obsess over your craft and to be a little bit unbalanced if you want to succeed. But at the same time, there are going to be times that this business drives you nuts and you hate everything about it. And to have nothing else to kind of step into and take your mind off it. Or I tell guys all the time, like, what happens if you blow an ACL and you're out for 6 months? What are you going to do? Like, you literally have nothing else that like you can mentally invest your creativity and your time into. So, for that reason, yeah, guitar playing, like, there's several days where it's like, if I pick up a guitar, it's like for those 2 hours, I'm not thinking about my training. I'm not thinking about wrestling. I'm not thinking about any of that. It's just something, to have a creative outlet to do that's completely enjoyable in a completely separate way.
Well, we're hopefully going to be enjoying you winning the X Division Championship at TNA Emergence coming up on the 30th. Tell everybody a little about this match, man, because this is going to be wild. You've got so many different styles of matches, plus just dealing with the speedballs tough enough.
Well, I've done, almost everything there is to do in wrestling: tables matches, ladder matches, cage matches. The Ultimate X match is something I have never done, and it's something that, I'm not going to lie, is pretty nerve wracking because, what there's something to be said for if I beat up everybody else in the match and then my palms are too sweaty, I can't even climb that damn cable. And also, I'm trying to carry 275 pounds across the cable while these other guys got like $150. But yeah, I mean, the Ultimate X match is a staple of TNA. It's one of the most unique things the company has created that's, stood the test of time. It's something that they're specifically known for. So yeah, when I first asked for a spot in one of these qualifying matches, I did it thinking I was going to win, but now that I'm here, it's like, it's daunting, it's nerve wracking, it's intimidating, but I think I got a good 80 pounds on about everybody else in the match, so I'm not too worried about it.
Well, I know that a lot of people in Las Vegas are going to be hoping you're going to win that match. And I know we still talk about you here. You were just over at FSW a little while ago, and everybody is just thrilled to see from where you've come from to where you are now. And we can't wait for more Hammerstone. It's going to be amazing. And maybe sometime after this X Division Championship, maybe that world title is going to be in your sights.
I'm shooting for the top of the mountain, so ain't no stopping your boy Hammer.
Sounds great. Well, Alex, thanks for coming on the show. I've been looking forward to getting to speak with you for a long time on here, and we want to wish you all the best of luck in this match coming up in Emergence and just your career. It's been fun to see, and we can't wait for more from Hammerstone.
Right on, brother. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Hey there, adventure seeker. Ready to unlock incredible hotel deals? Get a free membership and save up to 50%. Stay grand. Spend less. The simplest site. The best unpublished hotel deals. TheTravelShark.com.